guys, welcome to On Monica's Shelves. You may notice that there are some stacks of books sitting all around me, and some of my shelves look a little bit more empty than usual. Well, I am in the middle of a library makeover. Now, this did start a couple of days ago when I had some family here to help move some of the furniture around in this room. So let's get you caught up here on what's going down. So my husband and I both have birthdays in November, and as part of a combined birthday gift between the two of us, we decided to do a little bit of room rearrangement between the room that I'm in here, which is my library office because I do work from home a couple of days a week, and the other room that we have across the house is our spare room, but it's also the room that my husband uses for gaming because he streams on Twitch. So as a way of making both rooms a little bit more personalized to each of us and making sure that we each have our own space, we decided that for our birthdays that we were going to kind of revamp the rooms and make them a little bit more what we are looking for. So my husband has his game room that he has been working on putting together. We bought some new bookcases for him. We're working on putting that together. And then we also have another bookcase that I built for in my room. Plus, I am expanding to a couple of bookcases that we had across the room that my husband had previously been using. So we've really been shuffling things all around, and that means that I have a ton of book reorganization to do. So I have a little bit of a plan. Previously, all of my books were held within this corner of the room, and I had a total of 4 full-length, like floor to ceiling bookcases, and I had another half one that I used typically for like a TBR or like a book haul shelf, things like that. But with the update to this room, I didn't move my desk around, but I now have an additional 2 floor to ceiling bookcases that I can work with. So that means that the books that I had stuffed to the gills on the shelves back here, they get to expand across 2 whole new bookcases, and I'm super excited for this. It also means I get to move some things around. So I am going to be reorganizing where my genres are. Typically I had a bookshelf of romance over here, 2 bookshelves of fantasy and dystopian, and then a bookshelf that was thriller, sci-fi, and horror. Well, with this new update, I am going to be moving all of my horror and thriller books across the room to another full and a half, so 1.5 bookcases, and those are going to be able to expand quite a bit there. I'm essentially trying to have an entire bookcase that is horror and sci-fi combined, and then that means that over in this corner I have 2 bookcases over on this side that are going to be both romance, and then all 3 of the ones behind me here are going to be my fantasy, romantasy, and dystopian kinds of books. I'm super excited for this project. It has been a long time coming of like thinking of how we can make this work, and then with the help of a couple of friends, Lexie, Cassidy, Mel, we definitely worked very hard to convince my husband that this was going to work the way that we had kind of envisioned it. So I'm really excited to be putting it into practice, but now it's time to reorganize all of my books, get them moved from one shelf to another, and figure out how I want to display them. So let's get into it.
I was bamboozled.
Ta-da! And just like that, my library makeover is complete. There's still a little bit of cleanup to do on the back end. There's some boxes thrown all over the place, and I have some new books that I will probably be unhauling at this point. However, I have done my reorganization. I have my beautiful romance shelves. I think these two are the ones that I'm most proud of. I think these look the best. But my romance shelves over here, and then back here we have all of my fantasy, which it definitely needed to expand into that third bookcase. That was essential. I still have a little bit of empty space that I will inevitably end up filling without any intention to do so, but it's gonna happen. And then we have one final section, which is the horror. Let's go take a look at that really quick. So here is my sci-fi shelf. I do have some like random like fiction, non-fiction things up on the top that I don't really know what to do with yet. But here's my sci-fi shelf. The rest of this is all horror. And then I have my thrillers back here, which I think I'm going to end up doing some reading to unhaul of my thrillers because a lot of these have not been read yet. So I will be hopefully downsizing some of these because it was a really tight fit. I was playing Tetris for a long time trying to get these to work, but I am very, very happy with all of my horror books now having a little bit more room to breathe because they were very packed in. They are now 4 whole shelves and I had them shoved into 2 before, so this definitely feels a lot better. And back again in my cozy corner, I am really excited to see how I can also kind of adapt this space because I used to have a really big chair here and I am trying to replace it. It was so big, it took up the entire walking space. So I want something a little bit smaller and a little bit more comfortable to be in this area. But for now, it's just gonna be open. So I'm gonna throw some pillows down, make myself a little reading nook, I think. But for now, I am obsessed with how this turned out. Getting 2 extra bookcases for my books has been life-changing. And I know it's been life-changing for my husband too, getting to expand all of his books. He has a great area for all of his gaming now, which has been so fun to get to see him use because this has taken a couple of days to actually get my area like back and organized the way I like it. So he's already been using his space and being able to game in it has been so great for him. So this is a great idea. This was so much fun to do. And I just feel like my books, they feel like they can breathe more and it just makes me be able to breathe a little easier. So I am so pleased with how this all turned out and I really hope I don't have to do this again for a long time because this was a lot of work and it took a lot of hours and I'm ready to go read and rest and relax for a while. Thanks for coming along with me on my journey while I built some bookcases and reorganized my library. I love this space. I spent hours upon hours in here. So it's been so nice to get to document the process of changing everything around a little bit. And I can't wait for you to see even more of these shelves in my future videos. I'd love to have you following along with me if you want to hit the subscribe button so you can keep up with everything that I have going forward. So thank you for hanging out with me in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me fill Monica's shelves and I really hope that I will see you in the next video. Bye!